With Pyrrhus of Epirus crushed and Italia finally at peace, I received summons from the Roman Senate to return to Roma. I was to be honored with a triumph at the capital and retire with glory. I was elated, however my joy was short-lived. Carthage, envious of our success, sent their ambassadors to Roma and Syracuse with declarations of war. Regardless of their declaration, we would be dragged into the war since our agreement with the Carthaginians to recognize the sovereignty of Syracuse as a buffer state was violated. We cannot have Punic scum control the entirety of Sicily. That would bring them right at our doorstep. Realizing the urgency of the situation, the Senate decided to let me retain control of the Roman armies, but gave Marcus Junius Brutus command over the Roman fleet. Clearly, they were afraid that extending my command over the army might nudge me towards seizing power. While their concern is understandable, the last thing we need is political infighting during a war against Carthage. This is the Carthaginian Republic we are talking about. Bigger than any foe we have ever faced and much bigger than our own republic. Thankfully, the inexperienced and pacifist Marcus turned towards me for guidance. I soon realized that this war would be decided on the seas, and therefore any invasion of Sicily without proper naval support would end in disaster. So I decided to build up Legio I Italica into the largest force ever seen in Roman history, while simultaneously relaying a message across to Marcus to build up Classis I Neptunia at the recently conquered strategic port of Taras. Time was against us. Every season we spent mustering our strength. Syracuse had to fend off waves of repeated Carthaginian incursions alone. Should they fall, an invasion of Sicily would be near impossible. However, come the spring of 273 BC, Legio I Italica was finally ready and at the doorstep of Panormos. Our fleet, on the other hand, well, let's just say it had more fishing vessels in it than warships. But it will do for now. Carthage, thinking we were intimidated by their powerful armies and navies, didn't expect our attack. The battle was an easy one. We even managed to sink a Carthaginian fleet that was docked in the harbor. With Panormos secured, our navy could finally have a forward base of operations. However, it was not all good news, for Syracuse was under siege by a large Carthaginian army, and should they fall, we would find ourselves stranded at Panormos, surrounded by hostiles on all sides and cut off from vital supplies. However, the die was cast and we had to move forward with our plans, so I ordered Legio II Fretensis stationed at Beneventum to muster a force in preparation to invade Alalia. Thankfully, the Carthaginian army besieging Syracuse was resoundingly defeated by the garrison. Meanwhile, Marcus even managed to intercept and defeat a fleet of Carthaginian reinforcements headed towards Syracuse. With our supply lines secured, I decided the time was right to push the offensive into Acragas and put an end to Carthaginian presence in Sicily. However, I could not leave Panormos undefended, so I split my forces, raised a new legion to defend the settlement, and marched towards Acragas with the remainder of Legio I Italica, capturing the settlement. Finally, the island was firmly under the control of Roma and her allies. In the following summer, Legio II Fretensis and Legio I Italica launched a combined invasion of Corsica and Sardinia. The islands fell without much resistance. It seems that Carthage, surprised by our success in Sicily, decided to abandon these islands to their fate and prepare for the inevitable invasion of their homeland. While I was in the middle of preparing for the ambitious invasion of Africa, I received a surprising message from the Senate. Peace agreement had been signed. The war was over. I was furious. Carthage was on the run. We could utterly annihilate them here. But it seems that my political rivals in the Senate, wary of my success, have committed a grave mistake. Now all we have achieved was to humiliate a powerful enemy. And I fear that my unfinished business in this war will one day return to haunt our beloved republic. What is up, my friends, and how's it going? And welcome back to the third episode of our Let's Play series as Roma with your fellow comrade Summary. We do have an event developmental focus, And we are researching civil development for now, so let's go ahead and select that civil tree. Right. Apart from that, as mentioned in the previous episode, we are going to be bringing back our armies from Corsica and Sardinia back towards mainland Italia. And in this episode, the focus is going to be the invasion of Apollonia, as well as taking out the 2 settlements in northern Cisalpine Gaul. However, that being said and done, we have dealt with the rebellions that were occurring in both of the provinces. However, of course, we are still not out of the, we still have problems with our public order. And in order to deal with that, I am going to stop the edict over here and quickly Romanize this province. Alright, so let's very quickly move Legio 1 Italica into Panermos. Deploy him over there so that he can replenish within this turn. Quickly transfer over the entire army towards him. Come back. They transferred it to Legio 1 Augusta. But that's not a big issue. You can just retransfer everything back to Legio 1 Italica. There we go. And we can technically just put him a little bit closer, I would say, to Panermos. Maybe. Not entirely sure. I just want to see the population over here is quite good. But it's just building up in Panermos, so we will stay here for the turn. And we are going to leave our general of Legio 1 Augusta in Acrogas. Meanwhile, we can dock our fleet at Caralis and get rid of several of these ships. We don't need them anymore. We will soon have researched the naval maneuvers, after which we will build a military wharf and get a superior fleet. As far as food is concerned, you can see we are making 35 food per turn, which is incredible. And I wonder if I turn off the taxes over here, we do lose quite a significant amount of tax. So I'm just going to maintain that for now. However, with Latium, nothing much has happened. It has pretty much stayed the exact same because technology-wise, we haven't researched anything that will help us upgrade any of the buildings. And at the same time, none of our settlements are available for expansion as we are waiting for that growth rate to hit. What I believe I wanted to hit is level 5 so that I can build an extra building over here. And yeah, with that, what we are going to look at is actually the amount of denarii Latium is generating per turn is insane. Already at 18,000 denarii per turn. Meanwhile, down over here in Magna Graecia, you can see Legio 2 Fretensis is back in Taras and ready to attack Apollonia. However, we are going to have to dock into the port so that we get extra movement range in the next turn. Politics wise, everything is looking fairly decent. I mean, we can go ahead and marry off some characters to improve the loyalty. Meanwhile, we are suffering quite a bit from that pacifist trait, and I know that Marcus Junius Brutus was a pretty good admiral. He's quite leveled up, but we are going to go ahead and assassinate him. And we do have this character over here who can go ahead, assassinate the character, and we can replace him with some, let's say this guy from Gens Julia. Give him charge of that fleet. Wonderful. Keep him docked over there so that he can pretty much level up. Meanwhile, quick look, and as you can see, they are now fairly loyal. We do have another character over here who can get married, but I actually want her. And she does have 3 cunning, which means we can level her up and engage in politics. But in order to do that, we need to entice her. So we are going to go ahead, entice her. That will lower the loyalty a bit, just for a couple of turns. And over here, we are going to go ahead and marry her off, get yet another character, and adopt this character. He will become part of the Julius Habitus. Meanwhile, I can also adopt Gnaeus. Wonderful. And now we can go ahead and start improving the zeal of this character by praising her. And at the same time, we are going to go ahead and improve her authority as well. And slowly and surely, we will be able to engage in politics further. Alright, I think things are looking good politically, so to speak. We can send this character, who is the most disloyal faction, to improving the public order in Auxilia. Wonderful. That being said and done, we are still in the process of converting the culture, and we have quite a good amount of progress in cultural conversion. 21 in Auxilia, and of course 16 in Corsica and Sardinia, but we are a long ways off from achieving a dominant Latin culture in the province. And once we're done researching in naval maneuvers, I think the next step would be to go ahead and research in the philosophy tree all the way up to natural philosophy, so that we can build a scriptorium for an even faster research rate, which will be super helpful in the future. However, we also have to keep in mind that we have to research a Roman unit upgrade so that we get access to those Polybian troops, and that might be the case in this episode. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. For now, just gonna have a quick look at all of our characters. Things seem to be fine, and we can go ahead and end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome back to the next turn. Rampant piracy. We are going to select that hunted. And we have also completed our naval maneuvers, so we can go ahead and build that military wharf, which will make it a lot better for our fleet. Meanwhile, technology wise, as mentioned, we are going to focus on that philosophy tree, and we're going to go and a real quick check over here. We are 34 turns in, which means in about 6 turns we should get the reforms, the Polybian reforms. So let's actually not take a chance and go ahead and just research that for now. Meanwhile, over here we can't really even reach Apollonia, so I'm just going to move my fleet all the way to help our army get across. Meanwhile, over here we can begin marching our other army. I'm going to put him in the dock for now, and then in the next turn he will get extra movement range, and we have to go up north real quick and conquer the entire holdings of the Veneti in Cisalpine Gaul. And apart from that, what we also need to do is we need to perhaps disband Legio 1 Augusta and reinstate it over here in Latium, and start to recruit up our 3rd legion. As I believe for the Second Punic War we will need at least 2 legions to invade into Iberia, and we will need at least 1 legion to stand guard in, or at least half a legion to stand guard in Sicily or Sicilia. Quick look at politics. Everyone seems to dislike us a little bit due to political actions, but that will go away quite soon. Meanwhile, we are busy leveling up characters, and we are going to go ahead and keep leveling them up as much as we can. Can even marry off this character, and we really need to deal with our respected in the Senate. We're quite good, so I'm happy with that. Meanwhile, we can also educate a character, so let's go ahead and do that. We do have an extra character in... this guy is going back, as he was previously in charge of Legio 1 Augusta. Meanwhile, our spy can also level up, so let's go ahead and get some of those skills. Good. And slowly but steadily converting the culture in that province, and things should improve further with our research. And with that, there's nothing much else to do in this turn, so I am going to end the turn, and I will see you all in the future. Alright, welcome to the future. Carthaginian slaves, we are going to just accept it. That is pretty good. Alright. Legio 2 Fretensis meanwhile has managed to land in Eperos. We are going to attack them. Meanwhile, Legio 1 Italica is slowly making its way up to the north towards Batavium.
Destination reached. At your command.
Meanwhile, Legio 1 Augusta is going to continue its recruitment. Definitely need a couple of these, and very soon we're going to feel the pinch of things. And I think I should actually wait instead of recruiting, because you know what? I am going to hit the Polybian reforms in about 5 turns, and I don't want to spend money upgrading all of these troops as well. That could be quite annoying. Regardless, households have expanded. Let us quickly have a look at our politics. And politically speaking, we are doing quite good. Character is getting a bit old. Hopefully his successor has a good trait, and he does. +2 loyalty for every province that brings 5,000 wealth. That is pretty good, and there is no cap to that, so that's also quite good. Meanwhile, let's see if we can level up any characters. We can level up and rank up that guy, so let's go ahead and do that. And I want to go ahead and marry off this character so that he's a little bit happier with us. And let's go and improve the public order situation in Corsica and Sardinia. We really need to improve the public order there massively. Thankfully, we are building 2 sacred groves, and that should help with the public order situation. We are at about 24% Latin culture. Meanwhile, in Sicily, we are at about 23, but we are slowly, peaking our conversion rate. It's only at 0.7. Means we are a long way off from overtaking Hellenic as the dominant culture in Sicily. And I think with that, politics, we just have to even level up character. I forgot about that entirely. Let's go ahead, raise this character to give her even more zeal. And then we are also going to do her a favor to improve her authority. As you can see, she has quite a decent amount of authority and zeal, and at the same time you can now start to level up some other characters in return. So we are going to spread it out over here. Meanwhile, just have a quick look at some of the attributes of a character. We do want these ones that give +2 gravitas if we can afford to do so. So let's go ahead and replace those. Meanwhile, over here, this is not really a fantastic trait for a general. But +2 authority is helping us with, of course, improving the authority of other characters within our political sphere. So that being said and done, it is winter and we can attack the Epirates, and it will be a river battle if I attack them via the river. However, what I can do over here is perhaps go all the way around. I think that's worth it, and instead we will attack them in the next turn. So yeah, I guess I'll see you all in the next turn then. Alright, welcome back to the next turn. Some of our characters have returned from mission and other characters have leveled up. So let's go ahead and select some abilities for the characters that have leveled up. Good. And this will help our economy quite a significant amount. As you can see now, Latium is making 22,569 denarii per turn, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. While we really need this military wharf to complete its building ASAP. And over here we can now... Oh my god, are you kidding me? We're gonna have to wait yet another turn in order to attack them. And I believe the Polybian reforms, no, that is actually our shield maker getting built. Alright, so that's fine. Not too unhappy with that. Can go ahead and upgrade all of these troops. And a quick look at politics, and then we are going to end the turn again until we can attack the Epirates. I think now it is time to return the favor and improve her zeal, so that we can keep their gravitas high and not completely lopside the development of the characters, as that will put us in a dead end. And with that, I am going to go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you guys in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. We are obviously going to counter the rumors. Some of the characters have increased in rank, so let's go ahead, quickly get them some abilities. We're going to get the increased agricultural, increased empire maintenance, as well as increase, of course, empire maintenance over here as well. And finally, even our spy has leveled up, so let's go ahead, select some of those spy type abilities. Meanwhile, over here, our dignitary has improved, and get some empire maintenance as well as cultural conversion. As far as empire maintenance is concerned, we are pretty low, but our tax rate and of course our slave modifier is what's making Latium earn a lot of income. Really close to completing that military wharf. However, over here in the south near Apollonia, this is the development, and I will be losing troops if I do not attack the settlement for now. And well played, Epirus, but you are going to die nonetheless. I'm going to move you forward, and then we're going to probably attack you like this. You don't have any allies, so that's good. And I'm going to quick save over here, and I will see you all in the battle. Alright, welcome to the battle. Let us quickly begin our deployment. We are quickly going to select our general as group number 1. Archers, of course, as group number 2. Turn on the guard mode and switch off the fire at will. We're going to switch off the fire at will, and of course for the levies as well. And put them in group 8. Meanwhile, our Equites Extraordinary will form up the left flank. Equites will form up the right flank. And now, this is where things start to get interesting. We want to create our front line of Hastati. So we create we hold down the control key, click 2 Hastati Samnicti like this. Then we select all our regular Hastati. Then we select the other 2 Hastati Samnitiki. And then we click it in the front, and as you can see, they are arranged properly. Now we're going to group them up, and pretty much I wonder if I do that again. I must have botched it up. Yep, I did botch it up, so I'm gonna have to do that again. Hold down the control key, click the Hastati, click the last 2 Hastati Samnitiki, press G, and now they are in their proper formation. Click forward, and as you can see, Hastati Samnitiki on the flanks, Hastati in the center, and again Hastati Samnitiki on the flanks. We're going to do the same thing for, of course, the Principe Samnitiki, as well as the Principes Regular. And now these guys will form group 6. Put them over there behind. And finally, we're going to do the same for the Triarii. These guys form group 7. Nice, perfect. Something is a little bit off, and that is this Principe unit has to be part of group 6. So let's go ahead, put you in group 6. Samnitiki on the flanks. There we go. General should always be at the end, especially if all other groups have even number of troops, so I like to keep it that way. And let's go ahead and make their formation the narrow version, which I like. And I like formations to be a bit narrow. Some people like to stretch out their front lines. And the reason I keep it narrow is because it's a lot more easy to maneuver with a narrow formation than a wide formation. Now that we have selected our first 2 lines, let us quickly start from the center. Double tap once, now double tap twice, twice again, and we have our line. Let's tap it once over here, twice on the right, twice on the right again, twice on the right. Perfect. We want to do the same for our Triarii line, so we select it over there. Just select the whole thing. 1, 2, 3. Select the remaining 1, 2, 3. And this is really slow. I mean, you could use the automatic, grouping as it is available. I'll show it to you in a minute. However, in my experience, that tends to bug out a little bit. I mean, you could select this and then you do have the automatic thing, but that bugs out and I'm not going to even attempt to do it for now. Quickly select group 5, move it to the side, and as you can see, just like that, triple S access achieved. Wonderful. Can move these troops a little bit ahead. Just a little bit, okay. We can move our Triarii as well. And now we can select our whole army, at least our infantry, and just deploy them like so. Wonderful. We're going to put our levies all the way out in the front this time. I mean, we could use them as flanking, and I think that's better. However, we are going to use them as they were used historically, and that was in the front. Archers in the back, they can be flanking. Levies, meanwhile, since you are in the front, you're going to be on fire at will. And of course, skirmish mode. Meanwhile, our general will be in the center, behind. Equites, extraordinary on the left flank, and on the right flank, of course, we have our Equites, regular Latin cavalry, and as you can see, we have the entire Roman legion formation like so. So let's go ahead and start the battle. I'm going to quickly select a general. Sometimes if you select a wrong command, you want to select your general. Quickly move up ahead. We're going to check if they have any cavalry. They do have 1 cavalry, so it's a bit risky to try to march our levies out front. And this is a bit of overkill actually, to pretty much march our entire legion to take over. And of course, if you select any unit, there we go, yeah, our entire legion to deal with such a small garrison. And over here on the left flank, I see a cavalry unit being a little bit too ambitious, so we are going to go ahead and intercept it. After which we will be able to hit these light Greek archers, so that's good news, of course. Go ahead, charge with this unit. This unit can keep going in the direction it is going at. And now we can charge from all directions, like so. Beautifully done. Meanwhile, our levy troops, focus your fire over here. Select group 5, move them up ahead. And we are quickly just going to form up our Principes, or Hastati rather, into this gap. Meanwhile, on the left flank, or on the right flank rather, see another cavalry unit. And this cavalry unit should lose decisively. Get our levies in behind. Quickly look, double tap to have a look at what's going on the flank you want to. So if I double tap, like right now I'm on the left flank, but if I double tap 4, that takes me immediately to the right flank, which is why I like setting up in this way. Quickly get our troops over here. We're done with those cavalries. We're gonna move back into our formation proper. And when you're up against phalanx type units, you really don't want to put them in defensive formation, because that makes them a lot tighter. Meanwhile, over here on the left, we can see these guys are trying to flank, so we are going to push up ahead with our reserve Principes. And we can move our Soki all the way over there. Archers can begin to outmaneuver. Move our Soki away. Go ahead, Principes, charge in. And really need to see where the pikemen are. Go ahead, keep firing at the pikemen. And javelin troops are really good against phalangites. As you can see, we have already dealt quite a significant amount of damage to that phalangite unit. Let's just continue to do what works for us, what has been working for us.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Meanwhile, over here, archers, come across. Wonderful, our cavalry can go over there. Cavalry over here is done on the right flank. As you can see, they are the Phalangite are losing decisively. Wonderful. And quickly have a look at what's going on below. You can see this unit of Hastati all the way at the end is taking a bit of damage, but that is due to archer fire. We can narrow up his formation so that he can flank the enemy and pull him forward like that. Meanwhile, we have a Principe unit over here. We're going to bring him back into the fight. Get our archers somewhere over here. Archers can line up over here real quick. Get our Equites extraordinary over there. Cavalry is done with this unit. Form up over here. And now we will form up a cavalry like this. Get a general all the way over there to kind of finish off this unit. Hastati over here can charge into the backs of this unit. Wonderful. And with the 1.32 patch, most spear units don't have expert charge defense, so it is pretty safe to just charge into the backs, but you've got to be a little bit careful, a little bit wary of it. Can't just do it without consequence. And these archers can start hitting over here. Move back our Equites for another pass. And Equites extraordinary can go ahead and take out those skirmisher units. Gonna stop the diamond formation, just form up as narrow as possible. Kind of tempt this hoplite unit to face us while we are shooting arrows into its flank. And soon enough they should start to take some losses, so there we go. Meanwhile, we can use some of our other Principes to kind of encircle. Double tap over here. This unit should kind of lose. Nah, it seems like our unit is actually losing. So what we're going to do is going to get a Principe into the fold over there. Okay, charge our cavalry into the backs over there. And this unit has actually caught up to our cavalry, unfortunately. Okay, over here, things are starting to slowly turn into our favor. I want to keep that going somehow. Archers, go ahead, keep firing. Move Asoki as well.
The men are wavering.
Men are wavering. General. Alright. Quite a bit of damage for our Equites over here. Charge up our Principes into that, but we have pretty much defeated the enemy's center. Meanwhile, we can charge our cavalry right into the face of that hoplite unit. That was horrible. I thought they were still facing their backs towards us, but what we can do is we can turn and try to face these hoplites. Instead, use our archers to hit these guys in the flank. Alright. Go ahead, charge this unit in the back. Wonderful. We haven't taken that much damage. Of course, our Equites did manage to get a lot into the fighting and therefore have taken quite a bit of damage. Archers, meanwhile, doing quite a good job. Getting quite a lot of kills. And let's have a look at our levies. As you can see, they pretty much just dealt with the Chalcaspades troops or the Bronze Shield pikemen. And with that, it seems like the battle is won. There's nothing much the enemy can do. We are winning decisively. We can move our archers a little bit over here. And it seems like it won't really matter, because the enemy does retreat, and with that we have got our foothold in Greece. And straight to the head. with that guy, and we have captured the settlement of Apollonia. We are going to go ahead loot it because it is Hellenic culture. And with that, the kingdom of Epirus is no more. Quickly turn off the taxation over here. We don't need it. I mean, it's only giving us 200. What we are going to do is going to dismantle the building over here, repair this to be a port. We're going to repair this into an auxiliary so that we can actually recruit Grecian archers. Grecian archers are definitely better than Sardinian archers. One is, I believe, they have more armor. That is great. And two is that they actually have more damage. The only thing they are slightly lacking is their range, but they are arguably one of the best archers in the entire campaign. And we are going to dismantle this farm and instead build a temple over there. Meanwhile, can we get a dignitary? No, we cannot. So things are looking pretty tight over here. Meanwhile, with Sparta, we do have that non-aggression with them. Let's see what the antagonists are up to. We can get a non-agreement, and for a trade agreement, they will actually pay us for it. Let's actually take that payment. We want to keep Greece fairly secure. And we can also trade with Lydia. And they do accept that trade, so that's good for us. We are establishing quite a lot of trade agreements. The Volcae and the Massalia are at war with each other. I wonder if Massalia will want to be our client state. They will not, obviously. And it's pretty good. We finally have Apollonia. And also can get some army traditions for Legio II Fretensis. Now the plan will be to just simply march Legio II Fretensis back to Sicily to protect it. Meanwhile, up here in the north, we can attack Patavium. We are going to go ahead and do that. And let's actually go ahead and do that. But before we do that, we're going to see the Veneti are at war with the Daorsi, with the Norii, with the Reiti, and with the Helvetii. So that's actually quite good for us because all of them like each other and all of them hate the Veneti. And we do have good relationships with the Daorsi. We are going to try to establish good relationships with these other guys as well. They're all treacherous except the Reiti. However, let's join the war against the Veneti. Will they pay us a little bit? And they will. So that's good. Extra money. Not bad. We are going to go ahead and attack this settlement. And it's not a big deal. It's quite an easy auto-resolve. So let's go ahead, just auto-resolve this one. Go ahead, loot the settlement. Of course, we want that extra denarii. Turn off the taxation over here. I think I should actually keep the taxation on instead. And use this as a food province as well. The reason actually being is that, you know, I am playing with a lot more armies. So to maintain them is going to be tough. Unless I kind of try my level best to, you know, keep as many provinces taxed. So I'm going to have to adapt my playstyle a little bit. However, not too much. Meanwhile, just have a quick look. We do have 10% Latin culture over here, so not too bad, not too shabby. As far as economy is concerned, we are making now 11,200 and that's because our slave modifier has gone up. Regardless, I think with that we are quite done with this turn. We can engage in a little bit of politics, so let's go ahead and do that. Improve the zeal of this character, as well as, if we can, improve the authority. We don't have enough gravitas in this character, so temporarily we might have to get some abilities that improve gravitas. We can go for this one. Meanwhile, this character over here can get some abilities for an army, so let's go ahead and do that. This is, of course, Julius Strabo, so just want to mouse over him. It does give only the last name and, of course, the family name. He is Decimus Strabo. Meanwhile, we have Gnaeus Capito as well as Pacuvius Habitus. Okay. Alright, perfect. This guy does give cultural conversion, which is quite good. This guy gives zeal plus public order. So actually, let's put this guy, let's be smart about this, put this guy over here in charge of Legio 1 Augusta. We are going to, in fact, raise the other guy over here for the cultural conversion to help us culturally convert Karalis. Okay, with that, I think I am ready to end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, quite a slow-paced episode. We're gonna take the Recruiter Horseman. We are here in the next turn, and of course the Polybian reforms couldn't have fired at a better time. Right when we need to recruit horsemen thanks to our event. So we are going to go ahead, get these late equites now. And of course, I also want to focus on the Hastati unit. Couple of Principes, actually. It seems like I can recruit both, and that's quite normal, actually. And in the next turn, and that should fix itself. However, over here, let's quickly upgrade all of the troops that needs upgrading. These troops can be upgraded? No, they can't. Okay. I was a bit surprised by that. Meanwhile, we are going to march to Sicily as quickly as possible. I mean, just to make sure that this army, I'm going to maintain these archers in this army. The reason being is we don't want to, you know, get attacked by Carthage unawares. We will be caught completely, you know, by surprise. So I definitely don't want to do that. Meanwhile, over here we can once again upgrade our troops. And of course, the Veneti aren't going to attack us. So what we are going to do is perhaps stay at a forest, maybe? Try to be in ambush stance somewhere. The chance for ambush success is quite low. And if I actually... Now I can't see how far they can come. And that's quite problematic. Instead, I think what I could do over here... I don't know about this province, I really don't know. Well, if I turn off the taxation, it's not affecting me too much, so... Yes, it might be just simply... I might be simply better off just... you know, sticking to my regular build. So let's go ahead and just do that instead. Meanwhile, over here, the garrison is quite big. It's 21 garrison. Plus, of course, what do we have here? We have a 19 stack, so that's quite equal, if I would say so myself. However, up here, we do desperately need some troops. Meanwhile, we can recruit this other general, Salinator. I believe just has public order, empire maintenance. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna recruit him over here. Can I reinstate legacy? No. So I need to create a brand new legionary. Let's actually go ahead and do that. Put him in here. Oops, he is in the fleet, I believe. Get him back into the settlement of Ariminum. And actually start to recruit some plebeians, as well as some patricians. It will take me 2 turns to do that. And the reason being is that I'm actually recruiting a bunch of stuff over here, which is the priority, by the way. We're just gonna let that sit for a while. And pretty much nothing else to do in this turn. We can engage in a little bit more politics once again. Go ahead, improve the zeal of that character. And can also improve our authority, but that will put us at a problem. So let's go ahead and send this character on a vacation to improve her cunning, since we have enough zeal in this character to help us with that. Well, as far as public order is concerned, Corsica is Sardinia once again with the problems. Let's go ahead and do that public order over there. Meanwhile, we can raise yet another legion. And oh, one of these guys actually gives cultural conversion. Where the hell are you? Ah, you're managing a fleet. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair. Instead, what I will do is I will put the fleet over here then. Go ahead and help culturally convert the province of Corsica and Sardinia, and in about 4 turns it should be converted. However, it seems like I am done for this turn, and I will actually fast forward into the future when I'm ready to attack Midland. Alright, welcome to the future. As you can see, our economy is slightly weakening, and that is because we are in the process of recruiting our 3rd Legion and filling it up with troops. We can go ahead and get these Grecian archers. They're quite expensive. If I get 8 of them, then that's really going to cost me. Meanwhile, over here in Karalis, we have a fleet that's being recruited. Not that significant fleet. However, it will get the job done by controlling the Sea of Africa and giving us that naval supremacy that we so desperately need should Carthage decide to declare war upon us. Meanwhile, up in the north, things are still looking to be a stalemate with the Veneti. However, Legio 1 Italica has fully replenished, so what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and try our best to lay siege to the settlement. I mean, we could auto-resolve this one, but what I am going to do instead is I'm going to continue the siege. Keep building some stuff. Just stay like that and hope for the best. Let's see how things go. I mean, battering ram isn't all that great. However, we will pretty much get some of these ladders. And there we go. Wonderful. And like so, we will pretty much keep them under pressure. That being said and done, we can recruit some stuff, and can't really recruit. I mean, we do have a bunch of plebeies over here, and it's only giving us 1 ship return. This is also part of the same ocean, so it does actually make sense to move our fleet to Panermos. And over here we can recruit a couple more Quinquirims. And with that, I think I am quite happy for now. Meanwhile, Legio 1 Augusta will stay in Apollonia for the time being, until we can make a little bit more money, I guess. And the only way to do that, and I am researching the technology to actually unlock common currency. Once we do that, we can pretty much upgrade all of these buildings, as you can see, as well as this one over here. Also depends on that common currency. Once we can do that, it will definitely make our income slightly more. We should be seeing approximately 30,000, and with 30,000 that means we can support our 3rd Legion. Speaking of that, we do have a lot, if I'm not mistaken, we do have a lot of army cap limit because of the submod that I'm using. However, we just don't have the finances to maintain that, and we will be trying our level best to improve our finances. However, our characters leveling up is also going to help us a big deal, or a great deal rather. Okay. While some characters are starting to get a little bit disloyal, and the reason being is government type. Nothing much else. However, with that, there's nothing much else to do with this turn. I mean, I could go ahead and further improve the zeal of this character. However, it's a bit tight actually. What I'm gonna do is just send this character on a vacation. It's always safe to do that. I mean, you can get more gravitas from the action. Well, I'm not entirely sure if this character can go on a vacation. She can't. We don't have enough money. So I am going to go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn, or hopefully when the Veneti decide to attack me, which I'm hoping for. Alright, so as expected, the Veneti have decided to attack me, so we're gonna have a massive battle. They do have the numerical advantage, however, I believe our Polybian troops have the quality edge. Alright, welcome to the battle. I have gone ahead and deployed my army in that standard triple S axis formation. Let's quickly just go down and have a look at all of our units. This is going to be a massively good battle. Massive, big battle. And I was almost going to swear there, but big battle. And as you can see, we have our velites instead of the levies now, with their famous wolf belt. And behind them, of course, we have our new Hastati, and they do have a Pila, but they will be using the Gladius. They are now a swordsman. Of course, when we move to the flanks, we have the Socii or the Samnitiki version of the Hastati. In the second rank, we have our Principes Samnitiki on the flanks. And as you can see, they are looking a bit more heavier with that chainmail as well as some scale armor. And these guys pretty much form the basis of what would later be the standardized Roman legionaries. And of course, you can see the Principes of the Latin culture looking a bit more Latinesque, if I say so myself. And of course, in the back, we have our Triarii, still retaining their spears. However, they do not have that hoplite formation anymore and simply have a defensive formation. And of course, we have the allied Pedites Extraordinary as well as the citizen Triarii. And the citizen Triarii in fact look so much more similar to the Roman legionaries that we will have later on in this campaign. Of course, all the way in the back, we still have our Sardinian archers. They have seen a lot of action in Sicily as well as Corsica et Sardinia, their homeland. And on the left flank, we have our Equites Extraordinary. Of course, these are the Polybian versions of their ancestors. However, on the right flank, we finally will be seeing our Equites Campania in a fully fledged battle, and we will now get to judge their performance. Of course, in the back, all the way in the back, we have our Equites Consularis, basically the consular Equites. And without any further ado, let us go ahead and start the battle. The enemy has decided to attack us, which means they will march to us, and I do see them trying to go towards our left flank. And I believe that's because of the fact that they have some reinforcements. I do not want to fight in the forested area. I do not want to give them any advantage. So I'm instead just going to quickly move my legionaries or my legion entirely towards that corner. And I think I can go ahead and fast forward over here. Make sure that they move really quickly into that corner, giving them a little bit more time to rest. It seems like the enemy is trying to catch up to us. However, I don't think they will be able to. And we are going to adjust our lines just once more. Maybe over there. I swear I'm not trying to do a noob box over here, but the AI seems to want to push me into that corner. And yes, exactly, no idea what kind of maneuver these guys are attempting. Quickly gonna check to see if our troops are still fresh, and they seem to be fresh, which is good news. While the enemy is slowly forming up, so I guess we can slightly move ahead to engage them. Keeping in mind the reinforcing army over there in the far right hand corner of my screen. I do not want to get caught out on my right flank by those reinforcements, so I'm going to move slightly ahead to buy my cavalry a little bit of room on the flanks. And as such, we are almost within range, and we are going to slow down the battle, move our velites behind real quick. Really quick, and enjoy the advantage of our triple S axis formation pretty much preventing the enemy cav from charging us head straight. What we are going to do is we are going to dedicate our... There we go, the cavalry has
One of our units has used all its
hesitated over here and they will take a significant amount of damage from our velites. The same over here, we're going to use these velites to hit that cav now. Wonderful.
One of our units
These
has used all its
velites can try to hit that cav that's retreating. Good stuff. Keep hitting the cav. That was a very good first engagement. We managed to get rid of their entire cav by losing just 2 Hastati units. I will take that any day of the week. Meanwhile, we didn't lose a single Equites Extraordinary. We're going to pull back onto the flank. That was a good skirmish. However, it looks like this cavalry is going to try to chase me. I am going to allow them to do so and move ever so close to my missile range, allowing my Hastati on that left flank to throw their pila. Go ahead, keep throwing that pila. Wonderful. With that, we have taken out yet another cavalry unit. Man, I really love huge battles, if I should say so myself. I mean, they look incredible. Not only in looks, I mean, the AI does perform better, in my opinion, except for that initial skirmish was pretty bad. But in all honesty, I wouldn't be too judgmental on the AI because they did try to, I mean, attack my velites. So, it wasn't all so bad play from the AI. And I don't want to return the favor actually. However, I do notice some isolated missile troops over there. So, we are quickly going to march ahead. We can do it in double time actually. Meanwhile, just have some scouting over here. And these guys, what are they? They are Celtic bowmen, so they will have better range than our velites. So we need to select everything except our Equites Compagnie. And we are going to run into range. And we can see pretty much they have a lot of units over there. So just pull back our Equites once again. I'm going to take some javelins, but we were quick with that. So hopefully we don't take any losses from that. Meanwhile, their cavalry seem to be in hot pursuit of us.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
Go for it. Pull back our... Have a look of what's going on the right flank. Things are looking quite fine. Go for it. We're gonna double charge over here. And they do get charged quite nicely. Meanwhile, this cavalry can get charged as well. We can pull this cav back. Okay, quickly have a look at what's going on that flank. Wonderful. Quick check to see if these guys are losing decisively. Wonderful. Okay, we're gonna move our velites up ahead again. Okay, seems like the entire enemy army has decided to engage us, which is kind of good. We want to select our Hastati line. Move up real quick. They have used their precursor javelins. We are going to move our Hastati up and stretch them out really thin like that. Protect our velites. Meanwhile, on the left flank, the cavalry has been dispatched. Wonderful. Velite is looking good. And I think it is time to kind of unleash our archers if we can do so. Meanwhile, over here on the left flank, they might envelop us, so we have to move our Principes to react to that. Let's bring up our archers somewhere over here. Meanwhile, our right flank is looking entirely free, which means we can bring 2 of our Principes Samnitiki to kind of help flank over there.
Brave Romans to a man.
And these guys are taking a bit of damage, so let's just try to reinforce them. Go ahead, charge. Our Principes, our archers are in range as well. Go ahead, keep chasing. Equites, I don't think you need the gap anymore, so you can just keep moving real quick. Meanwhile, our Soki Principes have made their way around the enemy units. Which is great. Archers can quickly go ahead, just hit those archers over there. Get a complete. Okay, quick look over here. These guys are getting a pretty tanked. It's good. Meanwhile, that unit is getting tanked. We want the reinforcements to kind of help them out. That unit is also getting tanked. But this unit is fine. This unit is fine. Go ahead, charge into that unit. And the cavalry needs to help our archers over here. We can use our general for that as well. Archers, go on to skirmish mode. You can go on the fire at will. Meanwhile, cavalry over here has done quite well. Get the Principes out to the side over here. Charge in our Principes. Bring out the Hastati. Get our Triarii up front. This unit can kind of go on that narrow formation. As well as over here. Wonderful. Cavalry is doing quite well. Cavalry has dispatched this unit as well. Quickly get our archers around. General can go ahead, charge over there. Select 2 of these companion cavalry. The other 2 keep chasing the unit that you were chasing. While our Principes over here can charge in. Charge in. Wonderful. Okay, this unit is taking damage. Charge in with our Principes over there. This unit can begin the flanking maneuvers. Wonderful. Cavalry has done its work. And go ahead and charge into this unit. And as you can see, that's the power of the narrow formation and the Roman maneuverability. And over here, we are losing yet another troop really quickly. These units are also getting kind of damaged, so let's reinforce them. Okay, this unit as well. Need to get our Triarii up in front. Go there, go there. These guys get into that narrow formation. These guys are Triarii, they can... No, that's it. I'm sorry, they are Pedites. Alright, let's go. Move our cavalry behind, move our archers as well. General can come here. Archers move around. Companion cavalry, get back. Okay. I'm gonna pull back these guys. These guys over here taking a bit of casualties. Pull here. Select the Hastati Samnitiki in the bottom right corner. Go ahead, charge into those units. Make sure our archers hit their unprotected flanks. Okay, wonderful. With that, I'm starting to create some massive damage over here on the left flank. I have to watch out for my Hastati. Just pull them back. These guys can also pull back. Meanwhile, the right flank is also crumbling, so that is quite good. I'm gonna pull back my Italian cavalry. Perform a cycle charge over here. Go ahead, keep charging, keep charging. Okay. Any of our Principes Hastati in the front line, and only this one, I believe. These guys as well are on the front line. We have to replace them. And they might rout over here. It's quite risky to retreat like this when they are wavering, so you kind of want to do it as early as you can. Meanwhile, these guys can begin to flank over here. Go ahead, charge. Ready your charge. pull back our companion cavalry. Archers, go ahead, fire. And with that, we have won a pretty massive battle. And I guess I will see all of you in the campaign. Alright, big decisive victory against the Veneti. We managed to kill around 6,571, and of course we lost only 877, so pretty good ratio. And we are gonna go ahead and slave all the captives. And I will see you in the next turn, which I think is right now, so I don't need to cut the video. And we just wait for the turn to refresh. There we go. Missions issued. Go ahead and attack the settlement. Should be quite an easy auto resolve. Let's go ahead, select that protective stance. And with that, I think we have successfully wiped out the Veneti. We are going to go ahead and loot the settlement as well. Wipe out the Veneti, get some of that desperately needed money. You can turn off the taxation over here. Quickly repair these buildings. Actually, I'm going to dismantle this very first building, repair the other one. And over here, dismantle this building as well. Now that we are somewhat over here, we're going to try to establish some trade agreements in exchange for some payment, of course. You reject, so perhaps ask a little bit less. 1800, should accept that. Meanwhile, we can ask the Rieti for a trade agreement as well. And as many trade agreements we have, the better. Wonderful. The Volcae, the Tolistibogiai, the Ardea. Hey. Seems like I can't trade with anyone else. We are at war with two factions. The Igaramen is actually on purpose, is because I am actually trying to improve my relationship with the Mazazli. Let's see if they accept a defensive alliance. Ooh, they just might, and I don't know if it'll be worth it. Okay, they are accepting a defensive alliance. What about a military one? No, they will accept a defensive alliance. Go ahead, take that defensive alliance. Wonderful. Which means a non-aggression with... Non-aggression with the Masili should be possible. No. Okay, let's pay them a little bit more. Wonderful. Okay, that's good. We are becoming friendly with the Carthaginian client states, which is what I want. Because soon enough, we're going to be at war with Carthage. They're going to declare war on us, and it will be helpful if their subjects kind of rebel against them. Okay, wonderful. And unfortunately, Massalia has broken off their agreements with us, but we can declare war on them. However, that will have to wait until the next episode. And when we declare war against them, we can make them into our satrapy or client state. Go ahead, move our spy towards Massalia. It is under siege. So I wonder if I can actually make it a client state. Pay quite a bit for it. I don't really mind. Nope, cannot do that. So I think the play for now is kind of wait a couple of turns. Maybe can go ahead and start recruiting these Grecian archers. Okay, that's wonderful. And can level up, let's say, the library. That's a good building to level up. Meanwhile, we can further increase our fleet as well. Maybe not build that many Grecian archers for now. So we can save some money to build a fleet, which is even more pressing. We are out of population. Can't really build up the fleet. Karalis only has about 100. Meanwhile, Panormos has 200. Quick look at Acrogas. Acrogas has quite a bit, but I do believe Acrogas is part of the African Sea, so I will not be able to recruit those ships. Might as well just put the ships over here. And I think I'm kind of happy with the fleet. How it is right now should be enough to deal with the Carthaginians. However, it seems with that, I can pretty much end the turn unless there is some politics that I can do. And it seems like there is, so go ahead and deselect this. Can I increase her authority? Yes, I can. Okay, wonderful. Give that to her back. Well, let's give her another ability that improves her authority. We are going to improve the zeal of this character. Take her up to that 969. Send her on a vacation to improve her cunning. We can also send this person on a vacation. But we don't want to do too many political actions in a single turn, as that could lead to problems. Meanwhile, as far as public order is concerned, we are a little bit suffering, so I have to kind of start building some of these temples, really. Go ahead, build another archive. Archives are quite important. And if we actually increase the tax over here, we're just making about 400 and it's not worth it, so might as well just leave it as it is. And I think with that, I'm pretty much done with this turn as well as the episode. So anyways, I thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you liked the video, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe if you are interested for more. Peace and love.